How's it going, Scrub Gamers? Welcome back to another video here at Scrub Games, and today we've got another one of our videos where we go over the reveals from the last week from the Star Wars card game for set 2, because we're still getting more and more every so often, every few days, getting well, every day almost, we're getting some reveals from the set 2 Shadows of the Galaxy, and it's nice to kind of see what we're expecting to get, even though it's quite far away in like July, I think it is, so it's a good bit of time away. While we still enjoy this first set and like wide, ever-changing meta, we get to see some new things to look forward to, and also some what cards of what skills and stuff like that, and what characters we're getting. So we got a new lot today, and we're gonna have a look through it. But before we get into it, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. It keeps you updated with my videos as and when they drop, and also by clicking the notification bell, you can get alerts when my videos do drop as well, so you can watch them there and then, or at a later time that suits you best. So without that, all that gobbledygook out the way, let's go and have a look and check out what more spoilers we got today, or what more reveals. It's, don't know what people prefer, spoilers or reveals, but I know we go, yeah, reveals, but sometimes spoilers. So we get we've got so far, we've had like a leader, 2 leaders each week, and it's kind of random how we set it. But like there's no like hit brackets for this aspect or this side aspect, but it does look to see, well, look to be that we're getting 2 leaders in each side of each aspect, so probably another 18 leaders again, because like eight from each 4 from each aspect, and two on the dark side, 2 on the good side, and then the 2 star deck ones, of course. So another 18 leaders at our pool for more options, and it looks pretty nice. And for here we have Smuggler, Hondo, Okanaka, Onaka, yeah, Onaka. I say Hondo Onaka. Like I was trying to like kind of wrap my head around like where he's from, because I've seen him in Rebels, and I've also started like been watching the Clone Wars. As I didn't watch that properly, watched it bit by bit. And this is him from the Clone Wars. As he's got his little smuggle squad, what is like team, or is like gang. I can't remember what it is, but like his association, and then the little whatever that creature is on his arm. But he does have that in Rebels, and he's a lot older in Rebels, of course. But we've got Hondo as the one of the dark side leaders. I can't remember we've seen another dark side leader outside of Gideon. So yeah, this is probably the first of the dark side ones, and he is just an underworld one, so he's just underworld. That's it, because he's a smuggler, because that's good for business according to Hondo, and he is quite cool because he deploys not too late but not too early at 6 resources. Becomes some pretty nice stats, being a 3 power and 7 health, so a good amount of health. And also 3 power is pretty decent. Plus he has raid 1 when he deploys as well, so he's kind of hitting for 4, just only does 3 back if attacked. But he's also all around the smuggling, so while we get the new smuggle keyword in this set, he also has the effects that kind of revolve around that. Because if you didn't know what smuggle was, it's a new skill where you can play out a card from your resources by paying a certain cost, and the cost is a little bit different than what is actually on print of the card. So having some decks, as we've seen, I think there's another one in this. Yeah, well, there's another one in this one that also rolls around smuggle. So both the ones today kind of have like effects around smuggle, which is quite cool. So it's nice to make use of it. But Rondo, when he's in the leader area, he is also, again, probably should have mentioned first, he is command and dark side as well, so villainy command. And he's got an effect in the leader area where it's when you play a card using smuggle, so when you use the smuggle keyword for a card in your resources, you may exhaust this leader, and if you do, give an experience token to a unit. It could be any unit, which is pretty nice. Give an extra 1/1 stats to a unit, give it more experience, make it a bit stronger, which is pretty nice. Then when you deploy him, he comes down pretty solid. 3/7 to stats, raid 1, so basically when he attacks, he gains an extra 1 power while attacking. And his skill now changes to when you play a card using smuggle, so still kind of like same thing, where you basically, when you play a card using smuggle, you give an experience token to a unit. So you don't have to exhaust him now, so it's only in the leader if you exhaust him, but when he's deployed, you do the exact same thing. When you smuggle, you give an experience token to it, but you give anything, even himself as well. So if you play him out, deploy him, and then smuggle, you can then give an experience to him, making him a 4/8. Instead, then swings and does 5 damage, which is pretty cool. Like, he can power himself out by making use of smuggling more things, which is really cool. Like, I do like the look of that. And it just comes down to what smuggle cards we got, because with smuggle, normally they're a bit dearer than the cards, because otherwise it'd be unfair if you just do it for the same cost in your resources. That'd be a bit busted. So like some of the costs are a bit more, like a little bit more, or like a lot more. But it's pretty nice to make use of that, because you're not really losing anything you can, because you're smuggling from your resources. And when you do use smuggle from resources, you replace it with the top card of your deck. So this already looks pretty nice. I'm looking forward to it. Like, really cool. And we're also getting more support for Underworld. So having just the Underworld trait he can get some more benefits from this set as well. So that's the first leader. We do have a second leader. The second one is Smuggler Lando Calrissian. So two smuggler ones. So two smugglers who make use of the smuggling keyword. And just like Hondo, he is also Underworld, but he's got a little bit different stats. He deploys for a lot earlier, like same time Sabine. Like Sabine is the from set one the earliest deployer, deploying 4 resources, so as early as turn 3, and Lando follows suit and does the same thing. Also has the same kind of stats as Sabine as well, so not the greatest stats. It's like 5 health, which is quite low, and only 2 damage, so he doesn't do too much damage, but he isn't really a fighter, because this is the one, as you see from the picture, this is him from the Han Solo film. Yeah, Solo. And so, like, when he was younger, like, just starting out as a smuggler and stuff like that. So, not the best stats. And also, like, he's one that can be taken out with, like, takedown quite easily. There's only a few leaders that can be taken out straight away with takedown. So, that's a pretty nice card. Not the best stats, but it also does make use of the smuggle skill. So, he comes down, as we said, turn 4, but before that, he's in the leader area, and his leader area effect is action by tapping himself. Play a card using smuggle, so I'm guessing that a card has to have smuggle to do that. So well, you can't really play a card using smuggle if it doesn't have smuggle. So you can play a card using smuggle that has smuggle, and it costs 2 less. So it costs 2 less resources, but then you have to defeat a resource you own and control. So kind of losing resources here. So it's kind of like similar with Han, really, because Han's got the whole thing where he can increase his resources temporarily, but then at the end of the turn, you've got to then kill your resources. Like you temporarily do it, but then Lando's just making like smuggling in things a little bit cheaper, so getting more value out of it. Smuggling a little bit cheaper, so you're almost smuggling in a majority of the time, or even cheaper, either cheaper than what the normal cost is, or the same. I'm not doing it too there, but then you're losing a resource. So you are losing resource doing this, but then you get to smuggle things in. It's quite interesting that way. And yeah, and also when he deploys, he's got the same kind of thing, but instead of tapping himself, he's got action where you can play a card using smuggle. It costs 2 or less, and you defeat a resource you own and control, and then use this ability once each round. So while you are smuggling in something, you are technically losing 1 resource, because when you smuggle a card in, you replace the top card of your deck in your resource into your resource to replace it. So you'll play out a card using smuggle, you'll replace the card, but then you have to defeat a resource after. So you're not really going up on your resources, and you're not really going up high unless you do some ramping as well. But it is quite interesting because you can play them out a little bit cheaper as well, so you can potentially get things out cheaper than they normally cost that have smuggle, or for the same amount. And technically, you're not losing out on hand because you're playing cards from your resources instead of your hand, so you're keeping a quite a good sized hand. But I'm not sure how to react to this because it seems interesting, but then you're losing resources to do it, and he is quite like low, but he's got the same action on either side, so you're not really losing anything by being defeated as after you deployed him, but you can attack with him. But it's going to be quite an interesting one. We kind of need to see more cards from the set to see what we can potentially do to help out. But we have seen that on the light side there is tech that can give everything smuggle. So technically you can have anything in your resource build play out from your resource, which is pretty cool, as long as tech survives. So that's quite cool. But we need to see a few more things to see how great this card could be. But that's the 2 leaders we got. So we seem to always get 2 leaders every week. But then we get some other cards as well. So let's have a look and see what other cards we've got that isn't a leader. So we got the Dark Side of Vigilance. So we got 2 cards for the Dark Side of Vigilance, and we've got these ones are from the Mandalorian series. So we got Dr. Pershing and the Client. So Dr. Pershing experimenting with life, and the Client dictated by discretion. So Pershing is just like both Imperials, but the Client is also an official as well. And they're quite interesting users because they're quite cheap ones with quite a bit of bulk to them, but they have some nice effects as well. So Pershing is a one you can play as early as turn 1 because it's a 2 cost. No power because he's not really it doesn't really attack, but he's got 5 health, meaning he can be quite bulky. And he's got an action ability that requires you to tap him and deal 1 damage to a friendly unit, and the outcome is to draw a card. So you can't use this at turn 1 because you have to tap this off, but you can play him turn 1 and have it to be used as early as turn 3. Well, that's turn 2 to use the effect, and it just allows you to tap him, deal damage to a friendly unit. Could be himself because it doesn't say another friendly unit. just says a friendly unit discount itself, and then you draw a card. So you can get some extra draw with this. This is really nice. And that's it. It's pretty good for a rare. Rares are normally pretty good as well in like this set. In in Star Wars, you get some very good rares, very good uncommons, stuff like that. And then the client, he's a bit cheaper. Well, not cheaper, sorry. He's a bit more expensive because he's a free cost. But he has the same kind of bulk as Pershing, but he does have some power, so he can actually attack. And he does come in shield as well, so you got a little bit of protection. Because like in the series, he comes with an escort. And he's also got an action ability, so you can't use it straight away. So you need to tap him. But the effect is to choose any unit, and for this phase, it gains a bounty, and that bounty, when collected, heals 5 damage from a base. So that's pretty nice. So you can just put 5, especially when you've got like some really good stuff in the dark side to just kill things. You can just use this, tap, choose one of your opponent's cards, give it a bounty of heal 5 base, heal 5 from a base, and then kill off that unit and then heal 5 from your base, which is pretty nice. That's pretty nice. So that's a pretty cool card. Liking the look of that. With more cards as well, potentially go around to making the mill strategy with Iden a bit more viable with these. What pretty cool. So then we have the light side. We have the heroic side of vigilance now, the light side. So here we got a few more cards. We've got 3 different ones. All units as well, ground units. So you got Clan Ren Rescuer. We got Q. I think it's Cure. The I Have Spoken. A really cool card. I'm looking forward to getting this. And then you got Village Protectors as well. So we got Clan Ren Rescuer being a 2-cost, 1/2 to its stats, but when played you can give Experience Token to a unit, so it could be itself. And this is one you can play earlier as turn 1. So you can play it down and make it a 2/3 because you can give Experience Token to itself. And that's pretty nice. Not amazing, but still pretty cool. And it gives more options because currently, like Vigilance, Heroic don't have the best kind of cards. They have some pretty good, nice cards, but don't have the best selection if you want to go for a lot of stuff or go for mono blue at the moment. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty nice option. Then you got Cure, pretty cool. He's also a 2-cost. That is always then a 2/3. Also has Restore 1. Nice to have that little bit of healing as well. So when he attacks, he heals a damage from a base. He also number and the Restore. In this case, 1 because it's Restore 1. And he's also got an on attack, which allows you to discard a card from your deck. Then if it shares an aspect with your base, you can return it to your hand, which is very cool. So if you're playing double Vigilance, then this is really good because you can just swing and you just go, milk this card. It's blue. My base is blue at its hand, so kind of gain more cards, which is really nice. A very good card. Looking forward to adding that to Churro when we get it when we get set 2. Like a lot more cards to add to Churro, which I'm really hyped for. And then the last one we've got is Village Protectors, a bit more of an expensive one, being a 3-cost, but it's 2/2. Has Sentinel and Shield as well, so it means that your opponent has to go through this before it can attack a base or another unit in the ground arena on your side, and it comes shielded, so it's protected from damage once, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty nice card. So nice little additions as well, and we've got even more Vigilance stuff. It's got a hell of a lot of Vigilance because that's what we've been given this week. So we got the neutral side of Vigilance, which aren't dark side or light side. Not just Vigilance. So we've got some units and events. So we've got I think it might be a Hawk. I mean, he's like symbolized a Hawk or HWK 290 Freighter, just a standard skillless space unit. 3-cost with 2/5 to stats, a pretty good bulk, 2 damage, and you got Survivor's Gauntlet being a 5-cost. I think this is Bo-Katan's or like one of the protectors. I think it's Bo-Katan's clan's kind of spaceships. I'm not sure if it is hers because normally is like if it's a specific person's kind of ship, it normally comes with like his unique one, but this one isn't. But it's Mandalorian, so it's a 5-cost space unit. 4/6 to stats, pretty good. And then when played or on attack, you can attach an upgrade on a unit to a never edible unit controlled by the same player. So that's pretty cool. You can drop this down. You can move your own upgrades from one card to another as long as they're eligible to be equipped with it, or even do it to your opponent, like take a equip off of one of your opponent's units and put on the one in every one of their units. So you can like move like Vader's lightsaber off him to another one or things like that, which is pretty cool. To another unit that you can put on. So that's pretty interesting. I do like the sound of that. I have to see, like, because it seems like we're going to get a lot more upgrades in the next set. So it's going to be interesting to see that. And then we got Fell the Dragon. So this is a never good removal card for Vigilance. Vigilance having very good removal events. And this is a 4-cost, a pretty cheap one. And it allows you to defeat any non-leader unit with 5 or more power. So that's very, very nice. Because so far, like, normally you've got like Vanquish that can defeat any non-leader unit. But then sometimes there's like it's 5 cost might be a bit too put 2 there, whereas Fellow Dragon kind of like kills anything. Well, that's kind of the opposite of like Takedown. Like Takedown hits anything 5 or less remaining HP, while Fellow Dragon hits anything 5 or higher on power. So that's a pretty nice unit, just adding more control and like removal events for blue, which is cool. And then we've got a load of upgrades. We've got 4 different upgrades we've got filled this week in this Vigilance, so nice new additions. And we've got Public Enemy being another bounty one, being a 0 cost that adds no power or HP, and it adds a bounty where you give a shield token to a unit when that unit is defeated or captured. So nice way to like put on your opponent's card, take it out, and then give a shield to one of your units. Then we've got Foundling. This is a 1 cost upgrade. It gives 1/1 to stats, and the only thing it does outside of just boosting the card by 1/1 is giving the card that is equipped to the Mandalorian trait, which is quite cool. Because there are some things that are like I imagine there's going to be things, or even here you can see there are things that if you got the Mandalorian trait, you get an effect from it, or even like you have to choose like a Mandalorian to do something, which is quite cool. And then we got Mandalorian Armor, which is one of those ones that we're just talking about. A 2 cost that gives a 1 power and 3 health to a unit, because it's armor, makes sense against more like health than power. And when played, if the attached unit is a Mandalorian, you give a shield token to it. So that's pretty cool, pretty nice. Give it potentially a shield and also 1 free to stats to any Mandalorian. And then Van Brace Grapple Shot. So this is another 2 cost upgrade. Gives 2/2 to the 2/2 to the stats, and gives the like the armor. It can't be attached to a vehicle. It's like an equipped card that goes on as like armor to a unit, so you can't give it can't give it to vehicles. But what it does gain is on attack, exhaust the defender. So that's quite nice. You can attack into it. Usually, if you're attacking into a card, you're trying to hope to take it out, not just swing and switch it. So I'm not sure what the best use of that is, but still pretty nice for another upgrade. So that's the Vigilance stuff. Then we got more cards that aren't Vigilance, and we've got the Dark Side of Command. So we've got 3 nice new like villainy command cards. We've got Outland the Vanguard, or Outland TIE Vanguard, not the Vanguard. But this is a new ship for Green Dark, and it's a 2 cost with 2/1 to stats. Not the greatest stats, but quite cheap. There is turn 1 you can play. And then when played, you can give an experience token to another unit that costs 3 or less. So it's not the best one to play turn 1, because you won't have another unit, because it specifically says another unit can't give it to itself. It's got to be a different one. So you need a different unit out so you can give the experience to. So turn 1 it's not great, but a nice little effect. So just when playing, give an experience token to another unit that costs 3 or more. It could be a ground unit, a space unit. Pretty nice, pretty cool card. And you got Warbird Stowaway is a 3 cost with 2 free. An Underworld card, so one of those Underworld cards, basically what it says. And when you got initiative, this unit gains plus 2 power. So while you have the initiative and can go first for the first action, it's a little bit stronger at 4 power. And it's also one of those cards you can smuggle in, and the smuggle cost is 4, and you need the traits Command and Villainy, which is pretty cool. It's like technically, you can smuggle this with Hondo and give an experience token to it, or like it himself, which is pretty nice. Pretty cool card. And then the last one we've got is an event. So Remnant Reserves, a 4 cost event, and it's a supply one, so not much in terms of traits, because some events do have traits that you can actually find and search and stuff like that. But this was just a supply one. And this one allows you to search the top 5 cards of your deck, but the 3 units. So 3 units is pretty cool. And then reveal them and then draw them. But the rest of the cards at the bottom of your deck in a random order. So it's pretty nice. Like if you can get a good amount of value. So at 4 costs, it gets you 3 new cards. So it gives you a +2, which is not as common in this game as you might think. But then again, you can also have like it's only units, so it could be space, or it could be space or ground units. So it'll be units, so no upgrades or events, which you could have some in. But then be able to look at top 5 and grab any 3 units from the top of them is pretty nice. That's a pretty cool card. Helps with keeping your hand a bit healthy, but it is pretty costly at 4, but that's not too bad. Then we got the neutral side of command. So no heroic cards for command this week. But we've got the neutral side. We've got a few good cards. So I think we've got a fair few here, and we've got some upgrades and events as well. So we've got the Warzone Lieutenant, just a skillless 1 cost that has 2/2 to stats and a trooper. Pretty decent. Then we got Scanning Officer. So like how, I don't think there is anything this can be compared to in the first set, because this is the first set we're getting smuggle, but also getting cards that kind of like hurt smuggle. Because this is a scanning officer, 2 costs with 2 free to its stats, pretty decent. And then it's got a nice little when played effect. You reveal the top, you reveal 3 enemy resources, then defeat each resource with a smuggle keyword revealed this way, and then for each resource defeated this way, its controller puts the top card of the deck into play as a resource. So this is like smuggle hate, and also you get to see what your opponent's potentially resource. Like even if you don't like kill off any of their resources and replace them top of the deck, you get to see what they've got on their resources to leave them there, or like what they've potentially lost, which gives you knowledge, which is quite cool. And also you can potentially like take out any things they've smuggled, like put there to smuggle to use for later in the game, and you can technically use it to kind of help mill as well, because you can defeat up to 3. You can look at 3, and then if you have C3 with smuggle, you can defeat all 3, and you got to put the top 3 cards of the deck in a player's resources, which would be cards they didn't want to, and also 3 less cards in the deck. Now, mill isn't the best thing in this game, because it's not instant win, but it's still a way to play when it gets control, like an extra way to win when control gets to the later game and has a better option to kind of clear it, finish it off. And then as well as that, we've got I don't get how to say this one, Kiharax Heavy Fighter. Well, the Heavy Fighter is a 4-cost 3/3 space unit with Overwhelm, so any excess unit done to a unit that exceeds the health goes to the opponent's base. And then on attack, you can exhaust another friendly unit, and if you do, you get this unit gets extra free power for this attack. So it can swing, and then by exhausting any other friendly unit, you can give him an extra free power to basically make Overwhelm more useful and just to hit hard and take out a unit. That's pretty cool, pretty nice. And then you got this Disconcerting Veteran, a 5-cost unit with 3/4 for its stats, a bounty hunter as well. And then when played, this unit can capture an enemy, captures an enemy unit, an enemy non-leader ground unit, and puts the capture card face down under this card until it leaves play. So that's pretty cool. And on play, just capture a unit, but it's a little bit costly at 5. But then command is the ramp aspect, so it can ramp up to play this a little bit earlier. And 3/4 is not the best stats, but pretty decent as well, especially since you're capturing something when you play it. And it's any enemy leader or enemy non-leader ground unit as well, so it could be anything. And then, like I said, we've got some more command cards. We've got like upgrades and events. So we've got the only upgrade from this week being Legal Authority. So it's a 2-cost upgrade. It gives extra 2 health but no power, and can only be attached to it's got has to be attached to a friendly unit. But then when played, the attached unit captures an enemy non-leader unit with less power than it. So if you attack the more costly the stronger the unit, the higher you can capture, like the bigger things you can capture, which is quite cool. So that's quite cool. And the nice thing is you can put on like any of your units, even your leader units if you enter a play, and allow them to take things, which is pretty cool. Like I would like to try this in Turret, with the capture mechanic. I do really want to try Turret, because if you can keep it out or pet out and you can capture things and then keep hitting it, protecting it, you can potentially just like take a load of your stuff and your opponent can't get it back, where Turret can't really die. So that's gonna be interesting. And then we got 2 events as well. So we've got Outflank and Moment of Glory. Outflank is just a 1-cost event that allows you to tackle 2 units at one at a time. So this is kind of like Rebel Assault, but for anything, not just Rebels, but you don't get that boost like Rebel Assault allows you to get that boost of having it of like a +1 for each attack, but it only works on Rebels, where this one works same cost, works with any 2 units, but doesn't give that boost as well, so you can just attack with 2 units in one action, which is pretty nice. And then we got Moment of Glory here. So this is a 3-cost event that allows you to give a unit 4/4 power for that phase. So that's pretty powerful. Like 4 extra power and health for the phase. It's pretty nice to be able to take out something, or even like push for a big amount of damage. But then you've also got to wait for an action to be able to attack, or be able to use that unit when you get a boost to. So pretty nice. Then we move on to the 2 aggression cards we got. So we got 2 aggression because we had a load before. And we've got some nice ones. No light, no dark side, just normal aggression. So we've got Reckless Gunslinger being a 1-cost unit, and we got a 2-cost upgrade being Armed to the Teeth. So Reckless Gunslinger is just a 2/1 unit, Underworld, and in one play deals 1 damage to each base. So that kind of goes with like speed, like dealing damage to both bases. and also you can smuggle it in as well. So when you smuggle it in, it costs like 3 and needs aggression on your lead. So it costs 2 more than it normally would, but then you can always play this in to kind of finish off bases. This is a really nice one if you get your opponent down to one damage left on base. You can use this as a way to just smuggle in and just finish it off then, which is quite nice. And in Armor Teeth, this one gives you 2 power but no health. And you can see there's another unit that you can smuggle in. It costs 4 plus 1 aggression that you needed among your leader and base. And the effect on it is attached unit gains on attack, give another friendly unit plus 2 for this phase. So it gives you plus 2 for the unit, but then when it attacks, you can give another unit extra plus 2 power for the phase, which is quite nice. Makes sense, like it's named Arm to the Teeth. Then we got some more cunning cards as well. So we got some units here. So we got some light side units, no dark side. But we got Zori Bliss and another Millennium Falcon. So another copy of Millennium Falcon. This one's uncommon instead of a legendary. And this imagine it'd be from the solo film as well. And then you got Criminal Muscle and Frontier Trader, which technically Jawa for the non-light or dark cunning card. So Zori Bliss is a pretty interesting one. 5 cost, 4/7 stats, so pretty good stats for a 5 cost. And then on attack allows you to draw a card, and then at the start of your regroup phase, you got to discard a card from your hand. So you gain an extra card when it attacks, but you have to pay for that later by discarding a card when you get to the end of your turn. You can smuggle it in as well, and it does smuggle in for one more in its lead than its actual cost, being 6 cost instead of 5, and also has cunning and heroic as well. And then you've got Millennium Falcon here. This is a 6 cost, so double the cost of the old Millennium Falcon, but it's got better stats and 5/5. It's also got, if you play this unit from your hand, it gains ambush. If you play it from your hand, it gains ambush, but if you smuggle it in, it doesn't. So that's a quite interesting thing, like gains ambush. It's another one with ambush we can have. And then you've got Smuggle for the same cost at 6. I believe it's 6, yeah. 6 cost on it. And for the same stats, so you basically smuggle it in for the same cost it normally is. Just if you play it from hand, you gain ambush. If you smuggle it in, you don't. And then we've got the 2 other ones. So we've got Criminal Muscle being a 1 cost 1/2 that has a 1 played. You can return a non-unique upgrade to its owner's hands, like knock upgrades off your opponent's cards, or you can get cards from any of your upgrades for another unit back to your hands. You can play it onto something else, which is quite cool. Like I do like this with Snap Reflexes. You can use Snap Reflexes to like swing with something, and you can play this out, grab it back to hand, and then play it on another card to swing with that +1 again on another unit, which is quite nice. And then you got Frontier Trader, being a 3 cost 2/2, a Jawa and a Fringe. Then this one is when played, you may return a resource you control to its owner's hand, and if you do, you can put the top card of your deck into play as a resource. So this is pretty cool. So this is nice for if you do charge something early and it's like your only copy, doesn't have smuggle, and you want to get it back without potentially playing something with can allow it to smuggle and hoping that stays. You can play this out, put a unit on board, and also then get back that card to your resource, and then resource the top card of your deck. So it's a nice way to kind of get back some things you might resource earlier you didn't want to, but were forced to. So that is those, and then we come to the heroic and no aspect cards. So we still got also some more side deck cards as well, and these are the heroic and no aspect cards. Like I think this is the first lot of no aspect cards. Might be wrong there, but I can't remember because it has been a while. There's been a fair few reveals so far. But we got the heroic cards. We got Protector of the Throne, being a 3 cost 2/4 Mandalorian. Like I thought it was an alien because I didn't realize that you can kind of see the face, but I thought that was the whole head, the helmet, but it's not. It's a helmet. And then while this unit is upgraded, it gains Sentinel. So White's got an upgrade on it. It's also got Sentinel, which is quite cool. And you got Smuggler's Hater, being a 1 cost event, allowing you to heal 3 damage from your base. A bit more heal and just in the heroic side, which is nice. And this is when you can smuggle, so you can have that resource it and then be able to use it later, which is cool. But it smuggles for 3 instead of 1. And then for the no aspect cards, we've got Mandalorian Warrior, being a 3 cost 3/3 Mandalorian. And in one played, you can give an experience token to another Mandalorian unit. So a pretty nice one for Mandalorians to do on turn 2 after playing a Mandalorian turn on the first turn. Give like an experience token to another one because it has to be a different one. It can't be itself. So that's why it makes sense to have something on board before playing this. And then we got an upgrade Ritual Ward, which is a 1 cost bounty. So nice thing with all the cards that give bounty, they don't give any power, any health, just a bounty on the card. And for this bounty, it's given experience tokens each up to 2 units. You can give it a experience to 2 different units, which is cool. So that's pretty nice, pretty cool cards. Looking forward to playing like the next set, really, because just like loads of new cool cards. Smuggle seems really cool, but we get to still have a lot of time to enjoy this first format because it's ever changing and it's just a lot of fun. But we got some more starter cards, and we've got both a dark side one and a light side one for the stars, and we've got Incinerator Trooper for the dark side and Grief Karga for the light side. So Incinerator Trooper is a 2-cost 2/2. It's a pretty nice turn 1 play, and has while attacking, this unit deals combat damage for the defender. So if it deals damage for the defender and it's defeated, it takes no combat damage back, and luckily it puts it on the card, so like new players that are coming in for set 2 can kind of like get a good understanding about what the effect does. And in Grief Karga, same stats, just in Heroic, but he's got an effect which is one played, you search the top 5 cards of your deck for an upgrade, revealing, and then draw it. And then put the rest of the cards in the bottom of your deck in a random order. So it's quite nice, more like support for finding upgrades, which is nice because there's some good upgrades and there's going to be a lot more coming soon. And especially when it comes in starter deck with the Mandalorian, which is all around upgrading cards because he's got effects that help when things are upgraded. So that's all the cards we've got today, but luckily what we've got else is we actually got details about what it is in the starters as well. So let's have a look and see what we've got in the each of the starter decks. But actually, before that, let's actually check out and see because we remember we also saw the what we're going to get as a exclusive promo for UKG as well, and that is Grogu. So for entry, as well with our entry, we get a our event exclusive promo of Grogu from the starter deck, and in nice art. Because I remember some people were complaining about the art where they've like done the fingers wrong, but they have an exclusive one that you get for entry at each of the UKG Star Wars events, and with nicer art. I reckon it's nicer art. I don't really like the yellow kind of like fading on the sides, but the art is pretty nice. You look forward to trying to pick up a place of this to have for my decks as well. So that's out of the way. Let's carry on and have a look and see what the lists are for the star decks. So you've got the full starter deck list for Moff Gideon. So it comes with each of the starter cards. Well, each of the new exclusive starter deck cards. It comes with 3 of, but there are some reprints as well. So is going to get reprints from the first set. Like as you can see, we've got Moff Gideon, and we've got Remnant Science Facility is 1. We've got a Warzone Lieutenant 2. Dr. Pershing is you get 1 Dr. Pershing the rare in the set. You get a General Tag. So there's some old cards from set 1 that have been reprinted in this, but then given the starter deck, like the S starter deck, and comes like get reprints in it. So it's got reprints from the first set, and they're like noted as starter cards. General Tag. We've got Incinerator Trooper you get 3 of. Outland TIE Vanguard at 3. Volunteer Crew, Privateer Crew at 1. Seasoned Stormtrooper at 3 from the first set. Snowtrooper Lieutenant from the first set at 2. Soulblock Guard from the first set at 2. We've got Death Trooper as well at 3 from the first set. And then we got Phase 3 Dark Trooper from at 3, the new one. And you got Super Laser Technician at 3 as well from the first set. We got 1 copy of the Client, 1 copy of the Heavy Fighter, System Patrol Craft from the first set at 2. We got Concerning Veteran at 1. Pirate Battle Tank at 2. Gideon's Light Cruiser at 3, because you get 3 copies of each of the starting exclusives. And then you got Top Target being a card at 1. Legal Authority as well at 1. Pricing Head at 2. Outflank at 1. Timely Intervention at 1. Confiscate from the first set at 2. Moment of Glory at 1. Calculate Lethality, one of the new exciting exclusive events at 3. And then 1 Remen Reserves at 1. So some pretty nice cards to get in the set. I will be picking up the starter deck I didn't want for the first one because I wasn't that interested in what the cards were, and since we had the OP play promos to get them full art, I'd rather go for that. But for this one, I don't know if we're going to get a full art version of Moff Gideon and the Mandalorian like we did with the first set when he had it exclusive when you tried a demo before the game released. So I don't know if we're going to get that to get full arts of it, so I'm going to get the starter deck so I can get the Mandalorian. And then for the Mandalorian's deck list, we've also got that as well. So we've got the Mandalorian, we got 1 Remote Village, 2 Clan Run Rescuers, 3 Follower of the Way, 2 Grief Karga, 3 Grief Karga, 3 Grogu, 1 Kule, so nicely Kule in the set, in the side. We got a Hawk 290 Freighter at 3, Mandalorian Warrior at 1, Protector of the Throne at 2, Village Protector at 3, Chainkill Collector at 2, 3 copies of the Razor Crest, 1 Survivor's Gauntlet, one the armor, which is quite cool. One cargo juggernaut. So cargo juggernaut. I think cargo juggernaut is from the first set, but it's been reprinted in the second set. So I think there are some cards as well that are from the first set that are reprinted in the second set that you can get as well. So cargo juggernaut is one that's in the first set, but also in the second set. So you got the second set one in here. You got a Fennec Shand, a Public Enemy, two Wanted. So that's, yeah, two Wanted because Wanted is a card from this actual main set, not starter. Two Foundlings, one Resilient, two Resilient, which is from the first set. I think that's an upgrade as well. Two Rich Rewards, two Snapshot Reflexes, which once again from the first set. One Vambrace Scrapple Shot, one Mandalorian Armor, 3 copies of the Mandalorian's Rifle, one Surprise Attack, one This Is the Way, one Spare the Target, one Fell the Dragon. So pretty nice, like a lot of upgrades. In this one. So it'd be interesting to see how this works. It would be nice to try out the starter decks and try like the Mandalorian against the Gideon, but then we can finally see what's exactly in the starter deck. I can't remember if we got this for the first set, for the first starter. Like I can't remember because I wasn't following the reveals from the get go from that. But it's nice to see what we've got for this one. So that is it from today for this week from the spoilers. And check back next time when we go over this week's spoilers, the upcoming week, and look out for more content as well. So thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you next one. Bye for now.